and welcome to the PPVG 3-Way. So every weekend, we'll be posting a video of our top 3 categories selected from the Darth Vader helmet. And it's going to be a random category. We're doing it live. We don't know which category it will be, and we'll get our opinions. So the first category of our 3-Way is top 3 video games. Top 3 God of War video games.
Wow.
First of all, have you played the 4? God of War 1, 2, and 3, and Ascension.
I played them. Every single one.
And Rich, have you?
1 and 2.
You played 1 and 2.
I even played the ones on PSP. I used to have a PSP, so... But
I thought maybe you played the collection. Did they transfer it over to
No, I originally had a PSP, so I played them before the collection even happened. So, but yeah, I played all of them.
So what was your take on God of War, the first 2?
They were good. I'm big into mythology. It's actually what I studied in school, so it kind of bothers me that there was no... there was, but it didn't feel like they did enough with it. It was just the setting. It wasn't really what I thought they should be doing with it.
And is that why you didn't play the third one? You didn't want to finish the trilogy?
Yeah, that's when I was starting to have, time constraint problems, and I wasn't a big fan of the PS3, so... that's out there.
So out of the first 2, which ones?
I'd say 2 is probably better.
Trying to remember what...
Number 2?
Yeah.
Oh.
Trying to remember what the second one was about. I remember the first and third ones very clearly.
It just seemed like the mechanics in it were... As far as the impression, yeah, the first one had a more meaningful impression, but the second one played better, I thought. I thought that they had kind of streamlined a lot of the stuff that was...
They learned from the first one.
Better than the first one.
But it wasn't memorable, and that's what I'm saying.
No. It was like a gap filler, is what it felt like.
And that could be part of why I didn't care about the third one, is because the first one had potential. It was like, okay, here's your opening salvo, and then when you followed it up, it fell flat for me, storyline-wise. So I said, okay, it's okay as far as gameplay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Story wasn't there, so that's why the third one came, and I went, wow, that looks very pretty. Don't care. So, moved on.
Yeah, I actually played it on the collection on the PS3, where they had the God of War 1 and 2 collection, because I never had a PS2. I actually started with the PS3, so that's how I got caught up, because God of War 3 was coming out, so I wanted to play the first 2, and then played God of War 3. I loved God of War 3.
God of War 3 was great. My favorite memorable moment from number 3 was when you fight Hercules, and he goes in with the...
That was a bitch.
With the Iron Fist.
That boss
or whatever the arm lion things that he had on his arms. That was a bitch fight, but it was pretty
tough.
memorable.
Yeah. No, that entire game, like you start out with Poseidon. The entire gigantic...
That was a great startup.
Level, Poseidon, and then there's a fight with Hades.
Yep.
In there, Hercules, and then again the climatic boss battle with Zeus.
Yeah.
But I love the third one. Again, the end to the trilogy. Again, sort of a cliffhanger ending.
They did leave a big cliffhanger in the end. It didn't make sense. Everybody's like, "What the fuck? This is it?" And then you can make of what you want with it. And I hope they do answer some of the questions from what the fuck happened with this new one that they're releasing. I know that Ascension got mixed reviews. I know they did well.
Which was a prequel.
Yeah, it was a prequel. But I loved it. I loved Ascension. Like how they started explaining the story, where he's captured, and what was going on with how it went into the first game. I thought it was a good prequel. I think they did the game justice for it. And I know that they introduced the online play on Ascension too, on the Ascension game.
How was the online play, and what was it?
So you basically, did you play Ascension?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've beaten all 4 of the console games.
Okay. So at the beginning of Ascension, they have Kratos captured, and there's another guy who's captured there in chains with you, and you're trying to set him free. You're like, okay, I'll help you out, and all of a sudden he gets taken, or something happens to where he becomes. He just leaves. Somebody chooses him. Well, that character goes into online, and then you make your own hero that the gods are going to put their money on, and you become one of the god sponsorships. and then you can route yourself to Poseidon, to Hades, to one of the 4 gods,
Yep.
and then they give you their power, and you use that online, and it's 4 versus 4 battles.
I remember you telling me about that when
Yeah.
it first came out that you were playing. I think I tried it out. I think I got my ass kicked.
There was a learning curve to it and everything, and you also have fatalities. The way that you would dismember stuff, just like Kratos did, would be in the online gameplay, except you're doing it to other players.
So, Mo, how would you rank the game? How was actually first before you do that? How was the PSP games? There's 2 of them.
Yeah,
right?
they were good. I mean, they were fillers. I'm trying to remember the name of those games. I can't.
Was one
remember.
called Ghost of Sparta?
Yeah, the Ghost of Sparta. That one, like I said, it was them building off the first one, so it still had the same mechanics as the first one, and then the second one that they released actually had the mechanics of the second one, so I preferred that one instead of the first PSP game. But I think ranking them all, or just 1 through 1, 2, 3, and then Ascension, I would actually go Ascension because I like the startup of the story. I want to know where the actual starting
And they had
is.
3 years or 3 games experience of how to do it on a console and perfect it.
Yeah.
With Ascension.
Yeah, so Ascension was one of my favorites. I love what Rich was saying, the mechanics of number 2. And then number 3, I would put it in Ascension, 2, and then 3.
Ascension 2 and 3. Mine would be God of War 3. I just think just that story and just that gameplay is just nonstop fighting a god, and a god.
Yeah.
I think it was just the build up to the third one. Same like Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, just the build up to the big battle. The last half of the movie is big battle. That's pretty much what God of War 3 is. Just a big battle with all the gods. So, and it looked beautiful on the PS3.
The one thing with God of War 3, like even when you were in the middle of the action, the cinematics that would take place would not take you away from what's to come. Like it just came, like you were saying, it was just action after action after action after action. So it was good.
And the combos that the unlock
They
try to
changed
hit
it.
all the combos. So I would go 3 Ascension. I actually really enjoyed Ascension, even though it was a prequel. But how they perfected, first 3 games.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the second one. What was the second one about? Do you even remember? I am drawing a huge blank. I know I beat it.
I remember that it concludes with you finally knowing that Zeus is behind all the bullshit.
Yeah.
That's where it led off to, and you were fighting like a whole, basically a bunch of people just to uncover this. Why Ares started backstabbing you.
But see,
and
that
all
was
this
part
shit.
of my problem is you didn't really fight, other than Ares, you don't really
No.
fight any gods. That's
No.
why
You
as soon as
didn't
you
fight
started
any
telling me
gods.
you're like Poseidon, Hades, and then Zeus, I'm like, where was this the first 2
No,
games?
Yeah.
You're fighting.
That's
you're-
what I wanted.
You're fighting. Weren't you fighting like demigods?
Yeah.
You're fighting demigods the whole way there. So they were like half and half.
And they're not even famous demigods. So
No.
at least Hercules is a known quantity.
yeah,
But
yeah.
That's probably for some reason I'm drawing a huge blank on the second one, like not memorable of what I did or what it was about. Well, the first one was a build up, and when you fight the God of War Ares,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was the build up for the first one. And again, the third one was taking down all the gods.
The only thing that I remember from God of War 2 was, and I forgot which demigod it was, but you're going through the chains where the horse chains are trying to pull them together, and you're in this huge ass maze, and you end up fighting the demigod, and you slam his head against this huge gate that you're trying to open, and then you literally rip his head off of his body. That's the only thing that I can actually remember. But they were all demigods. They weren't like anything
yeah.
crazy.
Medusa
memorable.
was a pain in the ass.
Medusa was.
I remember Medusa being a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Automatically just freeze you and you die.
Yeah.
Automatic death.
Hated that shit.
Yeah.
She was one of the hardest bosses for that goddamn game, actually.
Yeah, so I go God of 3 Ascension and God of War 1. Again, start it all because I don't remember God of War 2 at all being memorable. So that will lead to the future of God of War. Again, they have a new game coming out probably the end of this year. We'll find out at E3 or maybe next year. What is your take on the...
It looked beautiful.
Reboot.
It looked like a different take on what they'd done before. That interests me. But I'll be honest with their showing of the story and the fact that I don't know how much you have to escort your kid around.
Escort missions? You're not down with the escort missions?
Yeah, that
Fits
works.
perfectly with God of War.
No, when I saw that and the fact that, again, I'm not fighting gods. I'm fighting some big troll monster or whatever. I didn't care. It looked
Rich
nice.
doesn't like trolls.
I'll pay attention to no, but the thing is, I want to see people play in their weight class. I don't want to see Superman stopping bank robberies. I want to see him fight Doomsday. You know, I want to see Batman take on the Joker, not just go after a drug cabal. I don't want to see that. Play in your league. He's he's killing all the gods. Can I kill a god once? That'd be nice.
The third one. There you go. The one again, but the
And
second
I
one
didn't
was
know,
too
but
late.
the second
Yeah,
one,
the second
they
one was too
ruined
late.
it for me, yeah.
I can understand because I don't remember anything.
And see, I still didn't know that about 3 because it pissed me off so much. I didn't know. I'd never even heard of Ascension as far as I know.
No.
And yet they got this new one coming out, and what I'm seeing looks great, but I'm still going, it's that same thing. You're going to kill my family again, and then I get those cursed blades, and it's the same thing. I already play. It's just a reboot.
Spoiler alert, the son dies?
I don't know, but I'm assuming that they're doing
It's
a
gonna be a
prequel to the
tragedy.
first one, and they're going to redo the whole thing again.
And what about you, Mo?
No, I from what I read a little bit, I know that they said that it's your way of teaching your son how to be a god, but I don't want a full how many hours, 20, 30, 40 hours, whatever, of an escort mission. I don't want that either. That just sounds tedious and annoying.
Resident Evil 4, half of that game is a escort mission of the president's daughter.
No, I hated that shit.
No, they'll probably break it up, and he'll train the kid. The kid will become the next god, and then we'll zip ahead, and now he has to kill his kid because his kid gets out of control. And that'll be why he's so tragic, because he can't have any true love. And then he goes and bangs a couple courtesans, and everybody's happy with that.
Which
one of the favorite parts.
It was an inventive thing, but
You got the red orbs.
But it was inventive, but how does that fit in with raising your kid? I don't understand.
Yeah, they kind of went overboard with the third one. And
I miss my wife so much. Let's have a 3-way.
We're having a 3-way right now.
I'm sure if your wife to be hears that kind of stuff, you'll be a dead man too.
She watches the videos. She knows. She knows about our 3-ways. I tell her everything.
And then
she's aware.
Achievement is going to come over her head. Go fuck yourself.
That's what we'll do. We'll have our little achievement 3-way unlocked.
We'll see where that
Stevio.
storyline goes, though. I mean, what they showed Case. Yes, it was beautiful. Who knows? A lot of the people complain that the fighting seems a little bit slowed down, but once again, it's not like it's the full fucking game.
Yeah,
we barely.
No,
have
it looked like Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
find the spot to shoot the arrow in, and then go over and cut him up, and it'll be kind of like a quick time event.
I don't know, but the retrieval of the axe when he chopped that guy in half and then threw his axe and then got it back, pretty awesome. See Tomb Raider do that shit. But anyways, we don't have enough information.
Do that, though?
He has his powers of what he's still a god, so he still has stuff. Who knows where he got
was that something that happened?
It wasn't
in the third
explained.
one? Because remember, that's why the cursed blades have the chain on it, is because then he whips those back
But
to get them back.
he did-
It wasn't he uses the force and brings it back into his hands.
He did end up getting the other god's powers, though.
Okay,
So
then that
you have to
explains
play
it
3.
yeah.
I shouldn't
big
have
finale.
to go through 3 games to understand what the
Yeah.
character is.
But yeah, he did get Hades' powers and Hercules some of his power to get full power to go fight his
Poseidon's known for Jedi powers. That's true.
So we'll see.
I'm intrigued. I'm excited to see more about the game, and I think it's the right time to change up the gameplay, because again they did 4 games, 2 on the PSP, and what was and the Vita. They had 1 on the PSP and 1 on the Vita, right? Or were they both?
I think they were both on PSP.
Okay. So I'm excited to see what the future has in store for the God of War. I've loved the games. They're great, fast-paced action. That's what I'm concerned, because that's the gameplay. It's
it was
fast-paced
fast-paced.
combos. And again, we only saw a small chunk of the gameplay. There'll be more that they'll show.
Maybe Kratos has turned into Logan. He's a little old, An
old man.
He's older.
Yeah, but his kid is no Laura. That's the problem.
No.
So you already... Oh, that would be a spoiler alert. I almost ruined the movie.
No spoilers.
Come back, Shane!
No spoilers. So
I'm gonna edit this out. I was about ready. So do you think he's gonna die like Logan did?
Maybe it happens. Who knows? It's too early to know.
Wait, Logan dies?
No, that's why she tilted the cross into X, because there's treasure buried right.
No. Because it like, he used to be a living human, now he's an ex-living human.
X chromosome to the wall.
So those
Why?
are.
Because I stopped breathing.
Go that way. So those are our top 3 God of War games. Please let us know in the comments below what your top 3 favorite God of War games ever are.